God and keep his commandments.
For this is the love of God.
For this is what?
For this is the love of God.
That we keep his commandments.
That we do what?
That we keep his commandments.
Right?
And his commandments are not grievous.
So this is love, brother. That we keep the Most High God's commandments. And his commandments are not grievous, which means hard. It's not hard for you to walk to the car, brother, and come back later. It's not hard, brother.
I gotta work tonight. I gotta get my ass and get something so I can feed myself. I got some energy for work.
But you gotta show love.
I know if I was prepared, then you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'd be able to abide right now.
Alright, brother.
I'm coming into the knowledge of it. So next week will be a different thing.
Well, brother, if I had a plate of pork right here, and somebody told me not to eat it, I'm not gonna tuck the neck into my shirt and say, well, I'm glad I got the knowledge of it. I'm gonna just eat this last plate. No, brother. Come on, brother. Hey, brother, we warned you, brother. I hope nothing happens to you, brother. Hope the Lord give you, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's not hard to walk back to the car, brother. How you doing, man? Y'all know your nationality according to the Bible? All praises to the Most High. So what would be your nationality? All praises to the Most High. What about you, brother? You know your nationality according to the Bible? Brother, off to the store, man. Yeah, I know you was. I tried to stop him. I tried to stop him. He said he gonna have to be disobedient. Right? Yeah, we just said subjective. You know that too, right, brother? And how you brothers know that?
I kind of into this kind of stuff. I can see it online a lot. You know,
Okay. Okay. Okay, so who's your God? Yeah. You sure it's not Buddha?
No.
You sure? Let me get Exodus 20 and 2. We want a miracle to happen today, brother.
Exodus.
And let me get Psalms 115 and verse 4.
Exodus chapter 20 verse 2.
Right?
I am the Lord thy God,
Right?
which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Right?
Thou shalt not have no other gods before me.
What the Lord say?
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Right, so but the Lord said we shall have no other gods before me. Now what would you say is the reason of you wear the Buddha? What would be the reason? Like I see you with the earrings, the nose, you know, and that's all fine, brother. You know,
more like
piercings and everything is fine.
more just my chain, like a trend thing.
Like a trend thing?
Yeah, like Buddha be doing that chain. It ain't really like
Give me Exodus 18 and 1.
Exodus chapter 18 and verse 1.
Because we've heard things like that too. And, you know, someone told me before that, you know, when they wear the Buddha on their neck, they said they touch a lot of money. You know?
Oh yeah, I heard
That stuff too. You know, he says it might be a trend or something. But let's see something.
Exodus 18 and 1. When Jethro, the priest of Midian, Moses' father-in-law,
Oh, it's like Leviticus 18 and 1. Leviticus 18 and 1. That's better right there. It's better. Leviticus 18 and 1. Remember, when you say Yah, you're talking about Yahweh, right? Yeah, Yahweh, right? Yahweh is our God, right?
Leviticus 18 and 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel,
Right.
and say unto them, I am the Lord your God.
Right.
After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do.
What the Lord said?
Shall ye not do.
Right. The Lord said, after the doings of the land of Egypt, where we dwell, we shall not do. Now, it was talking about ancient Egypt, right? But we want to understand too that we're in Egypt today. We're in, you know that.
Yeah, we
So
got more pyramids in Africa.
so you say that you know it's a trend. That's what everybody out here does. The Lord said, after the lands of the doing of Egypt, we shall not do, brother.
Right.
Right? Give me Psalms 118 and verse 4. We just want to show you something, brother. Yeah. We have 115 and verse 4. The water.
This is Psalms chapter 115 and verse 4.
Bring it out.
Their idols are silver and gold.
Right.
The works the work of men's hands.
No, that's the Most High.
The work of men's hands.
Right?
They have mouths. They have mouths, but they speak not.
What Buddha do?
They have mouths, but they speak not.
Right?
Eyes have they, but they see not.
Right?
They have ears, but they hear not.
Right.
Noses, they have but they smell not. They have hands, but they handle not. Feet have they, but they walk not.
Right. So these are no gods, brother. That Buddha can't do nothing for our people. It can't do nothing for you. Some people believe that when they put it on, good things happen, this and that. We want to show you something else too. Give me Psalm 96 and verse 5.
This is Psalms chapter 96 and verse 5. For all the gods of the nations are idols.
What the Lord said?
For all the gods of the nations are idols.
Right? So you know whose God that is, right? That's the Chinese man. That's his God. Buddha is a Chinese man God. The Lord said all the gods of the nations are idols. And we just read in Exodus 20:3, the Lord said, thou shalt not have no gods before me. And that, where in that, brother, you're putting a God before them. You're putting another God before the Most High God. Right? Brother got a precept for you. Right? This is love, brother.
God, because you said it was like a trend, right? He said this is Romans chapter 12 and verse 2. And be not conformed to this world.
No, it's a trend.
And be not conformed to this world,
right?
But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is good.
That ye may what?
That ye may prove what is good,
right?
And acceptable and perfect in the will of God.
Right. So, hey, brother, you're seeing what's good and what's acceptable before the Most High God. You're hearing the scriptures, you're hearing the precepts. You're an Israelite. You know about Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Right, so hey brother, it'll be a mighty thing if keep the chain, but it'll be a mighty thing if you take the Buddha off right now and you toss it in the street, brother.
That's right.
It'll be a mighty thing, but if you take the Buddha right now and toss it in the street, right? The angels will rejoice at that. Right? Let's get that. The angels will rejoice at that, brother. If you was to do that, brother, if you truly believe you're an Israelite, you believe in the Most High God, you believe in these scriptures. Thou shalt not have no God before me. You believe that God can, that false God, that idol can do nothing for you. You'll cast that away right now, brother. Hey, and me and my brothers gonna rejoice, and the angels gonna rejoice.
Right.
You know that? I mean, you love the Most High God, right, brother? I mean, you believe the Most High God is you say you got faith? Give me James. Give me James chapter 2, and you start at verse 14. We're gonna show you something. Right, because
James chapter 2 and verse 14. What doth it profit, my brethren, though a man say he have faith?
Right. So what's that going to profit, brother? If you say you got faith, right?
And have not works.
And have not what?
And have not works.
Hey, brother, I could say I believe. I could say I got faith, and I could go in the store and break the Sabbath. But right? Read.
Can faith save him?
Brother, can your faith save you, brother? Can your faith save you from the destruction of the Most High God? Okay, that's a humble answer too. That's a humble answer. All praise to the Most High.
Can faith save him? Can faith save him? If a brother or sister be naked and destitute.
Verse 16.
This is James chapter 2 and 16. And one of you say unto them,
17.
17, even so faith, if it have not works, is dead.
What the Lord said?
Is dead.
Even so faith what?
Is dead, being alone.
Right, so faith without works is dead, being alone, brother. If I say, I love my brother, but with nobody around, I'm beating him up behind closed doors, do I really love my brother? I'm giving him black eyes. When everybody leave, I'm giving him black eye. And then when everybody come back around, we saying he fell down the stairs. And I'm telling her I love him. Does my word mean anything, brother? It's about your actions. It's about your works, brother. It's about your works, brother. Look. Even so, brother, you could take that off and put it right there in the drain. Throw it in the drain. You might think, because I'm gonna let you know right now, brother. Me and my brothers, you throw it in the street, we're not going to pick that up. We leaving that thing right there, brother. You can throw it in the drain. Make sure another Israelite don't even find it to pick it up. You don't want another Israelite to even find it and say, "Oh, I came up on a Buddha. I came up on Buddha." Hey, you want to cast that away, brother? You know, and if there's a fire right here, I'll say throw it in the fire. I'll say throw it in the fire and let's watch it melt. Let's watch it melt away. Because that's what's gonna happen anyway when the Lord come back. When the Lord come back, all idols gonna be burnt up, brother. You gotta take that thing off, brother. Come on, brother. Hey, you already got the keep the chain, brother. Keep the chain, keep the earrings. Hey, keep the belt. You know what I'm saying? Hey, keep the belt, King. Keep the belt. Just throw the Buddha away. Throw both of them away. You got two on your neck, brother. See that? That's double fold. That's double fold. Double the sin. Double the sin, brother. Come on, brother. Come on, brother.
This more just like a trend thing.
Hey, but we're telling you, brother. We're literally telling you where that comes from. That's the God of the Chinese, and the Lord is not dealing with the Chinese. The Chinese are going to be, it's going to go to war with the Chinese, right? And their false god. Their false god go burn up. Because guess what? When he falls over, somebody got to pick him up. He can't do nothing for himself. He can't even do nothing for them, brother. So, brother, if your words mean something, you'll toss that Buddha chain, brother. And the Most High will see that. And the Most High might give you more grace and more mercy as you continue on with your day. But if not, the Lord is going to look at it. He's going to say, see that? What's your name, brother? Zarion. You see that? The Lord is going to see that and be like, see, I knew Zarion didn't love me. I knew he wasn't about what he was talking. That's what the Lord going to say.
I don't know. I take it off. I won't wear it.
The Lord and the angels going to say, is he all talk? He ain't down for this. You say you'll take it off? You say you'll take it off? Right?
I got a precept for you about the other thing. Like you said, it's a trend, everybody doing it. This Colossians 2:8. Beware lest any man spoil you through the vain philosophy and vain deceit.
Right? In vain what?
In vain deceit.
Right, that's vain deceit. It's a trend. That's vain, brother.
After the tradition of men.
No, after God.
After the tradition of men.
No, after the Israelites.
After the tradition of men.
Right?
After the rudiments of the world.
It's a trend.
After the rudiments of the world.
Right.
And not after Christ.
Right? That's not after Christ, brother. Hey, if Nehemiah was here, you might snatch that off your neck. You know, and toss it in the drain, you know. But we ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna do that. Because we want, the Lord wants you to prove what you say. Aren't you a man of your word? Would you say you're a man of your word? I don't know, brother. Don't say that. Don't say that and not take it off. Hey.
Take it off, but doing it,
Hey, don't.
I won't wear it.
Hey, don't say that and not take it off, brother.
What is the one thing are you a man of your word? You said what? Question, you're a man of your word? Okay, so let me ask you this, brother. Let me ask you this. You said you're going to take it off. I said, yeah, I'll take it off. Throw it away. So what is the point of taking it off? I'll throw it away. I literally just spent my money last week. So you're going to go sell it? Is that what you're saying? I'll sell it or just wear it off.
We'll sell it to Moabites?
I got other
Sell it to a Chinese man, brother. Hey, can you at least do that, brother? Sell it to a Chinese man. Hey, and replace it with something else, brother. You ain't got no crosses, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay, no crosses, brother.
Take it back. The cross is crazy.
And exactly, brother. We don't deal with that either. The Lord said, these people in the church worshiping the cross.
Right.
If Christ died on the cross, what makes you think he likes crosses? Come on now. So that's a fault thing too, brother. That's right. Take that off, brother. Take that off, brother. The Lord is not dealing with that. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. You see that? We want to see miracles happen. And we love to see this. Let us see our people call themselves Israelites, right? Knowing about Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, taking off these idols off their necks.
You still look saucy.
And you still look, that's what I'm saying, but but you got the earrings, the nose, you know what I'm saying, nose ring, the belt, you still look saucy. You look 10 times better without the Buddha on you. Right? Look 10 times better without the Buddha on you.
They take that little lost stick.
Hey, it's all for the Lord. You see this? Hey, this is the man of his word. Right? This brother's a man of his word. Right? This brother's a man of his word. Right? And the Lord is looking for men of their words.
That's right.
Right? Lord not looking for all talk, right? The Lord not looking for cool trends, right? That's a mighty and humble thing, brother.
That's right.
That's a mighty and humble thing, right? Let's get that in let's get that. What's that? Luke 15. Was that Luke 15 and is that verse 8?
This is Luke chapter 15 and verse 10. And it reads, this is Luke 15 and 13. And not many days. This is Luke chapter 15 and 10. Likewise, I say unto you, there is a joy in the presence of the angels.
There is what?
There is a joy in the presence of the angels of God over one sinner that repented.
Over what?
One sinner that repented.
See that, brother? It's joy in the heavens right now. Now you can't hear him. You can't say, well, I don't hear nothing. But you best believe, brother, these scriptures is real. You best believe the angels are rejoicing. And the Lord is saying he was a man of his word. He was a man of his word. He wasn't all talk. Right? And that separates you, brother. That makes you holy. That makes you holy and separates you because you doing the things that please the Lord. Right? Let me give Baruch 4 and 4 real quick, and then we're gonna give you a pamphlet, brother. Let me give Baruch 4 and 4. And we're gonna give the brother a pamphlet. The Mighty Brother. They got a YouTube channel, right? They got an Instagram, and we want to see you. Hey, subscribe, brother. And I'm gonna subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Hey, leave your contact that number and let us know what your YouTube is. Right? Bring this out.
This is Baruch chapter 4, verse 4. O Israel.
What the Lord said?
O Israel. Happy are we.
Happy are what?
Happy are we.
Right?
For things that are pleasing to God are made known unto us.
Right? Happy are we, brother. And we happy to know that taking that idol off of your neck pleases the Most High. Seeing our people change their ways. Seeing them put these things away. Right? That's a mighty thing, brother. That's a mighty thing. What'd you say your name was again? Zarian. Okay, hey, can't forget that. Hey, brothers, that number is gonna be waiting for Zarian. It's gonna be waiting for Zarian to say, tell me more about my nationality. You know, tell me more about what pleases the Most High God. Right? So we're gonna wait for that number, brother. You know what I'm saying? But you got any questions or anything? Okay, all praise to the Most High. That was your boy over there? Okay, hey, y'all both contact the number, brother. All right, brother, you have a good one, brother. Hey, and keep the Sabbath day. You ain't going to buy nothing, is you? Okay. You're going to make some money. Hey, it's a Sabbath. Oh, man. See that? How you doing, sister? You know your nationality according to the Bible? Okay, that's a humble thing to say. Well, according to the Bible, would you say your people went into slavery? Well, according to the Bible, sister, you will be a Hebrew Israelite. Right? Give me Deuteronomy 14 and 2. You will be God's chosen people. Did you know God has a chosen people? And who are they? Right. That's right. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel. Do you know how the Lord feels about his chosen people? That's right. The Lord loves his people, right? And what comes with loving your children if they don't listen? Discipline. That's right. We're going to show you something, sister. Deuteronomy 14 and 2.
It's Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 2. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Right? That's how the Lord feels about you, sister. Holy just means set apart. And you know you set apart, huh? You know you set apart. You're not like the Chinese woman or the white woman. You set apart.
And the Lord had chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all the nations that are upon the earth.
What the Lord say?
Above all the nations that are upon the earth.
See that, sister? You will be an Israelite according to the Bible. We above all nations on the face of the earth. And then our people wonder why we in the condition we in. Because the Lord put a curse upon our people when you read the book of Deuteronomy. The Lord put a curse upon the Israelites for not keeping his commandments. And that's how you know you'll be an Israelite, because the curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28 only fits our people. Right? It only fits our people. You got somewhere to be? Okay, well, what would you Would you be able to take a pen flick? Okay, take a pen flick, sister. You got sons and daughters? Okay, and nephews? Okay. Oh, is your auntie? Okay, all praises, all praises. Well, have you known that you was an Israelite, or you kind of just found out today? You kind of knew it. You haven't mixed things about it. You're not too sure if it's the truth or not. Oh yeah, no, I'm just asking if there anything we could, maybe answer for you through the Bible. Any questions you have, anything you may be doubting. Nothing you doubting. So you believe you guys chosen people, right? And that Christ is only coming for the Israelites. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. But sister, we gotta repent, keep the commandments, right? We gotta keep the Sabbath day. You're not going to buy anything right now, are you? Okay, well you didn't know, but since we can't buy on the Sabbath day, no buying, no selling, no working, right? No working, none of that, well, check that out, sister. Check that out. Contact that number, right? Contact that number. You can we give you one commandment before you leave? All praises. Give me Deuteronomy 14:8. All praises to the Most High.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 14:8. And the swine.
And the what?
And the swine.
So swine is pork. Swine is pig. All praise to the Most High. We're going to show you what the Lord said about it.
Because it divided the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, he is unclean unto you.
Right.
Ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass.
Right, so no. So you say you don't eat pork, sis? All praises, right? All praises. But just know that tell it to your sons and your daughters if they eat pork, or your grandchildren. You tell them like, no. We're not gonna eat that. That's an abomination against the Most High God. Right? Bring this up. That's Deuteronomy chapter 14, and that was verse 8. It's a dietary law about the clean and the unclean foods. All praise.
This is Deuteronomy 14:9.
Right.
Ye shall ye eat of all that are in the waters. All that have fins and scales ye shall eat.
Right.
And what's
right. So what has fins and scales in the water? Right. And only fish. You eat shrimp sometimes? Right, crab. Okay, and then that's a humble thing to admit, sister. That's real humble to admit, right? We're giving you the just dietary law. So the Lord said, all that have fins and scales we may eat. And why is the Lord saying that? Because everything else in the waters are unclean unto us. Like the shrimp, it's the same thing as a roach. It cleans the ocean. Crab, all these things, even catfish. You notice catfish doesn't have scales. They're bottom feeders. They eat the poop.
right?
They eat the feces in the waters. That's why the Lord, right? That's why the Lord said not to eat them. So all that have fins and scales is all we can eat. Right?
And whatsoever have not fins and scales, ye may not eat.
You may what?
Ye may not eat.
Right. So says that's a little bit of the dietary law of the commandments. Right. So right, no pork. No horse. I just got to put that out there. Hey, no squid.
Yeah.
No squid. No sea moss. As much as people may tell you what's good about it, no sea moss. Right. Right. None of that. Right. So it says contact that number because we have a brotherhood, but we also have a sisterhood. All right. We got a sisterhood. We got older sisters in this thing too. Right. We got all ages. I know you see a lot of young brothers up here, but it's all ages. Right? And the Israelites are waking up all around the world. So when you contact that YouTube, when you subscribe to the YouTube and you follow the Instagram, you'll realize that there's a lot of our people in this thing, sister, coming back to the Most High God, coming back to our God-given nationality, coming out of the ways of America. Let me get Revelation 18:4. We're going to let you go, sister. Revelation 18:4.
It's Revelation chapter 18 and verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people.
What the Lord said?
Come out of her, my people.
Right? The Lord is telling his people to come out of the ways of the world. Come out of the ways of America. Right?
That ye be not partakers of her sins.
Right.
And that ye receive not of her plagues.
Right.
For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God have remembered her iniquities.
Right. The Most High God has remembered this place for what they did to his people. a lot of people think that the Lord forgot, because let's be honest, nothing happened to those people that did these things to us. Nothing happened, right? They think they got away. They think that nothing's going to happen, but the Lord is going to bring this place down. And the Lord is saying for us to come out of this place so we don't be brought down with it.
That's right.
Right? So with that, sister, more grace and peace be unto you. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Right? We get Exodus 31 and 13. And let me get Jeremiah 17 and 17.
This is Exodus chapter 31 and verse 13. Speak thou also unto the children of Israel. Verily, my Sabbaths ye keep, for it is a sign between me.
For it is what?
For it is a sign between me and you.
Right. The Sabbath is a sign between the Most High God and the children of Israel. Right. Ultimately, too, the world. Right. Because the Lord created all things in 6 days, and the 7th day He rested. Right. In the kingdom of heaven, hey, these other nations, they're going to keep the Sabbath. They're going to keep the Sabbath. They're going to keep the feast days. They're going they women going to wear dresses, right? Right? With fringes, right? The men are going to grow their beards out, and it might be kind of weird seeing these Moabites with beards on their face, right? You hardly see that. When you do see it, it's kind of an astonishment, right? They're going to have beards on their face, right? And they're going to keep the Sabbath day, right?
Me. For it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that ye may know that I am the Lord that doeth sanctify you. Ye shall keep the Sabbath, therefore, for it is holy unto you. Every one that defileth, it shall surely be put to death.
What the Lord say?
Whosoever defileth, it shall surely be put to death.
Hey, breaking the Sabbath is a sin punishable by death.
Right.
Our people don't understand how heavy and how big the Sabbath day is, right? The brother literally told us he's gonna be disobedient, and he's gonna go by on the Sabbath, right? Hey, look us in our face and say he loves us, but then he says he's gonna be disobedient and go break the Sabbath day, right? You're showing that you don't love your people. You're showing you don't love the Most High God, right? You're showing hate. Right? You think any of us believe what that brother says? Right? It's not grievous. Right? It's not grievous. Our people, we had the humble brother right here. Hey, he admitted it's a trend. It's a trend to sin these days. It's a trend to break the Sabbath day. Everything going on a Saturday. Everybody can't wait till Saturday so they could freak off. So they could go to the parties. They could go to the clubs. They could go to the casino. They could go spin the bag that they made, right? That's why Esau want to pay you Friday. He want to pay you Friday so you could go break the Sabbath tomorrow, right? You supposed to get paid. You supposed to get paid before you leave, right? I was talking to the brother about that. You're supposed to get paid before you leave. I shouldn't have to go home and thinking about my money when I'm gonna get my money. The Sabbath is a big deed, punishable by death. Right? Did they not read how the man in the wilderness was put to death for gathering sticks? They brought him to Moses and said, "What should we do with them?" Right? The Lord said, "Stone that man." Right? The Lord said, "Stone that man." How you doing, sister? We're teaching our people their nationality. We giving out all things.
Right.
We giving out all things, sister. See that? Wow. People just want to come up and they want us to pray for them. They want us all to put our head down and put our hands together and pray in front of the whole world. So it could pierce the firmament. See that? Well, let's get Jeremiah 17 and 17.
This is Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 17.
Right?
Be not a terror unto me. Thou art my hope in the days of evil. Let them be confounded that persecute me, but let not me be confounded. Let them be dismayed, but let not me be dismayed.
It's like you jump to verse 19.
Jeremiah 17 and 19. Thus said the Lord unto me, go and stand in the gate of the children of the people, whereby the kings of Judah come in,
Right?
and by the which they go out, and in all the gates of Jerusalem, and say unto them, hear ye the word of the Lord, ye kings of Judah, and all Judah, and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem that enter in by these gates.
Right?
Thus saith the Lord, take heed to yourselves.
What the Lord say?
Take heed to yourselves, and bear no burden on the Sabbath day.
And bear no what?
And bear no burden on the Sabbath day.
Hey, brother, listen to this. Read that again.
And bear no burden on the Sabbath day.
Hey, brother, we can't be bearing burdens on the Sabbath day. We literally see it. Bearing burdens, right? Bearing a basket full of things he just bought. Hey, sister. Sister with the backpack on. Right, read.
Nor bring.
Hey, family. 2 minutes to hear the words of the Lord. Hey, and it's crazy. I haven't seen so many Hispanics that don't speak English. You know, I only see this on the Sabbath day. When I'm out and about, they all speaking English. They all speaking English. But we come to preach the word. Now they can't talk. Now they can't talk. Madness. Literally. Brother's gonna leave from here, and I'm gonna come across Hispanics, so-called Hispanics, speaking English. Fluently, right? Because speaking English in America is a big thing, right? That's something you gotta know, and a lot of their children know how to speak English, and their children be teaching them English. You know? How you doing, family?
Good. What's happening, y'all?
Man, you know your nationality according to the Bible?
Do I know mine?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no because I want to hear your answer.
Okay. Well, let me get Isaiah 1 and 3. We're gonna show you something. Isaiah 1 and 3. Whoever got it.
It's Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib.
Right.
But Israel.
But who?
But Israel do it not know. My people do it not consider.
So the Lord says that these two animals know who their owner is, but his people don't. Right? He says his people don't consider. Right? So would you say your people went into slavery?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Most definitely, right? So according to the Bible, you'll be an Israelite. That'll be your nationality. Right? You say you don't know. Well, hey, you just heard today.
You got 5 minutes?
Right? You say you wanted to see what I was gonna say.
You got 5 minutes here?
What did you think I was gonna say? Not that,
Not
huh?
the Israelites, nah. Out of every other clan from the Bible, not them. So yeah.
Right. So do you know anything about the Israelites?
I do. They were powerful people.
Powerful people, right? Right. Powerful people, right? But what happened to them?
They put man in the manual, and
Oh man, see that?
they couldn't handle it.
Yep.
They couldn't handle it.
They disobeyed the Most High God, right?
That's it.
And what did the Lord do to them?
He dispersed them.
He did. Right. Dispersed them and cast them down, huh?
That's it.
Cast them out of the sight. And he put curses upon them, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So you know who's the Israelites today? Because you got to think, well, everything we just said, a people that was dispersed, a people that was cast down. Who would those people be?
Almost everybody living today.
I mean,
Almost. We are all descendants from that land, so.
I look at this man's people, and they have more than my people could ask for right now.
Very true.
You know, I look at
But wealth is considered to each person's interpretation. He may have worldly wealth, but my spiritual wealth is more than his bank, so
Of course.
he can have it.
Of course. But last time I checked, his people wasn't cast down. His people didn't go into slavery on slave ships. Right? His people didn't have yokes or iron upon their necks.
Most definitely, yeah.
Right? Neither did the Chinese man. Neither did the Arab man. So everybody can't be cast down because, if World War III was a kickoff, where's our army?
Right.
Everybody else got an army. Where's our army? You gotta ask yourself these things, brother. So I mean, who would we say the Israelites are? A people that was cast down, right?
Yeah.
So we could read a couple of the curses for you.
Yeah, that's fine.
All praises, all praises. But what was your name?
Ryan.
Ryan. You said Ryan?
Ryan.
Okay, all praise to the Most High. Let me get Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15. Remember Moses with the Israelites. The Lord is talking to the Israelites.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right, so the Lord's going to disperse these people, right? Like we just said, if they don't keep his commandments, right? He said all these curses will come upon thee and overtake thee. Now you're going to say, all what curses? Right? We're going to read some of them. Right, verse 16.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city,
Right?
and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Right, so who's cursed in the city? Everybody. Who's in the lowest parts of the city? We are, right? Hey, the Lord said that'll be a curse. It's a curse to be living so compacted next to a lot of people. It's a curse to, hear gunshots at night in your neighborhoods. Right? It's a curse to always hear the cops rolling by. Right? And all manner of things happen. The Lord said that'll be a curse. But he also said curse shall that be in the field. Now, was everybody cursed in the field? Nah. Who would you say you were? I mean, who would you say was cursed in the field?
Was or was not?
Who was cursed?
Ones that wasn't paying attention.
The ones that wasn't paying attention. Right? What people? What people was cursed in the field?
Probably the Israelites.
Right, the Israelites, right? Which last time I checked, people were in the field, it was blacks and Hispanics. Blacks and Hispanics were in the field, right? The Lord said that'll be a curse. And that wasn't nothing good. Being in there like that, that wasn't nothing good, right? Let me get verse 25.
Deuteronomy
Right now, because we don't want to just read that and say, hey man, that sounds like me and you. Right. We want to get the full context. Now we're not gonna read the whole thing, but we're gonna get a couple.
Yes, sir.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 25.
Get out.
The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies.
Right? Who's known for being smitten? Every time we turn the news on, every time there's riots and protests, who's being smitten? Is it the Arab man? Is people rioting and protest because the Arab man is getting shot in the streets? Nah. So who would you say? I mean, because I don't want to just give all
people that look like us.
People that look like us, right? Right. Check this out.
The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies.
Right.
Thou shalt go out one way against them,
right,
and flee 7 ways before them.
Right, and that's our people, right? Anyone tries to rise up, or if the cops kind of show up, if you got all these brothers like this, and the cops pull up, everybody running different ways. Somebody running that way, somebody running in the store, somebody might damn try to hop this wall. Right? That only happens with people that look like us. Right? Now, during slavery, you've seen the slave trade, right? Of the different parts of places, the world they went to. Right? Hold on, let me finish this out real quick. Check this out.
Thou shalt go out one way before them,
right,
against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shalt be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth.
Right, and our people was removed. Right? You said, you said we all come from that landmass. They was removing our people all places around the world, everywhere. I don't know if you've seen those arrows. They was going everywhere. Right? They showed where they was going. Now how was we going that way? Like, what form of transportation? Like, how did they take us? On the ships. Now, and we know that to be facts, right? Now let's see what the Lord would say would happen to the Israelites. Right? Verse 68.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 68.
Right. We're gonna see how was we removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. Bring it out.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Right? Now, Egypt just means bondage or captivity. Right? And I want to prove that. Let me get Exodus 20 and 2. I just want to prove that real quick. Because we can't make this up.
This is Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Right. So Egypt means bondage. Another word for bondage is captivity, slavery. The Lord said he's going to bring the Israelites back into slavery again. Because remember, they was just delivered from Egypt, right? He said, I'll send you back into Egypt. I'll send you back into bondage. Let's see how.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
Right. The Lord said with ships. Now, has any other nation of people went into captivity on ships? Nah. So who can this be talking about? It's talking about people that look like me and you. So-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Americans. Most definitely. So let's finish this out. We're gonna finish this out.
The Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Right.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Right.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen,
Slave man,
and bondwomen,
slave woman.
and no man shall buy you.
Right. And no man will get us out of this situation.
That's right.
2023, here we are today. Anywhere in the world, anywhere you go in the world, we're cursed in the city,
Right.
cursed in the field,
Right.
being called proverbs and bywords. Still ain't never seen our homeland, right? Never went back to build it up after they burnt it down,
Right.
right? So, according to the Bible, would you agree that your nationality, according to the Bible, and not according to man, would be an Israelite? All praises to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. So if somebody was to ask you tomorrow, what's your nationality? What would you tell them?
I'm an Israelite.
That's right. That's right. You'll be an Israelite, brother. Hey, and say it with a smile on your face, because that's how we gotta feel.
Right.
Because
right.
it's a beautiful thing to be Israelites.
It
Like
is.
because why? You said there was a powerful people, right? And how did they get that power? By the Most High God.
Always.
By keeping the commandments. That's how they got that power. So do you know any commandments besides the 10? I mean, because you know the 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You keeping the 10?
Not like I should.
It's all right, but it's right. That's a humble thing to be honest. That's a humble thing to be honest, right? So we're gonna get you a commandment, and can we get you at least 5 commandments? At least 5.
You're on the clock.
All praise to the Most High. Exodus 20 and 8.
It's Exodus chapter 20, verse 8.
Bring it out.
Remember the Sabbath day
Right.
to keep it holy.
Right.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work.
Right. So, what would you say is the 7th day of the week?
What is the 7th day?
Yeah. What's the 7th day? When you look on the calendar, what's the 7th day of the week?
Saturday.
That's right. That's right. Saturday. The Lord says 6 days shall I do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath. Right? So today will be the Sabbath, brother. So on the Sabbath, you don't want to buy nothing on the Sabbath, brother. Right? And that's in the 10 Commandments. Right? Exodus 20. That's in the 10 Commandments. Right? Now, I don't know if you knew or not. Did you know?
Purchases on the Sabbath? No, I did not know.
Okay. And but now you know. Now you know. The Lord knows you know. So come for the rest of the day, brother. You don't want to buy anything, until the sun goes down. And then next Saturday, right, Friday night to Saturday night, you don't want to buy anything. You want to keep the Sabbath day, brother. Right? I see you growing your beard out. That's a commandment. I don't know if you knew that. That's a commandment for a man, for a man to grow his beard out. Right? That's a commandment. So I see you keeping that, right? And that's not even in the 10. So all praise to the Most High. You agree that you're an Israelite, right? You agree that today is the Sabbath day. You shouldn't buy, right? Now you didn't know, but now the Most High commanded you to repent from it.
That's right.
Right? Let's get another commandment for the brother.
God, Leviticus chapter 11, verse 7.
Bring it out.
And the swine,
Right? Swine is pig, right? You eat pig?
No.
Nah. All praise to the Most High. We're gonna bring it out for you.
though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud.
Right.
He is unclean to you.
Right?
Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you.
Right. That's right. That's right. And let me get Leviticus 18 and 23. Now you eat shrimp, crab, and lobster? Okay. We're gonna bring it out for you, bro. These are commandments that's not in the 10, because we got a dietary law too. You know, everybody talk about the 10 commandments. Where I don't know if you knew that there was more than 10 commandments. Did you know that?
I did not.
Okay, you see that? You learning, brother. You're learning. Let me get Proverbs 1 and 5. The brother is learning, right? All praise to the Most High, right? You're a wise man, brother. You a wise man, right? Nobody here wants to hear the words of the Lord, right?
This Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 5.
Bring it out.
A wise man would hear and will increase learning.
What the Lord said?
A wise man would hear and will increase learning.
You increase your learning, brother.
And a man of understanding shall attain unto the wise counsels.
Right? You attend unto wise counsel, brother. Because this ultimately is for your salvation. It's not just something that sounds good, something that we just should do to get along. Hey, this is the words of life. This is your soul is on the line, and you're being wise about it. You're going about it in a beautiful way, you know, right? Finish that off.
This is Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 9.
Bring it out.
These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters.
Right.
Whatsoever have fins and scales.
Whatsoever have what?
Whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. And all.
Right. So the Lord said, "Them shall ye eat." Right. And the Lord said that all that don't have fins and scales is an abomination, which means the Lord is telling you can only eat fish, right? Because crab don't got fins or scales, and not even shrimp, right? And not even catfish. It's certain fishes. You can't eat squid, can't eat shark, can't eat whale. You can't eat these things in the water, right? They're an abomination unto you. Why? Because we royalty, right? We're royalty and we're God's chosen people, right? How you doing, family?
We're good, thanks.
You heard about the Israelites?
No, I'm just learning.
Israelitas? All right, well, y'all be Israelites according to the Bible. Y'all be God's chosen people. Now, we just giving out some commandments because the Israelites disobeyed the Most High God. And that's why our people are cursed. All right, brother, you could take a pamphlet, brother? Okay, I'll praise the Most High. No more shrimp, right? Okay, no more shrimp. You're not buying next week on the Sabbath, right? All praise to the Most High.
Thank you. Keep doing a good thing.
All right, brother. So would y'all agree at the fact of so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans, bad things happen to us that don't happen to everybody else? Would y'all agree? What's some things that happen to us? Discrimination. That's right. Let me get Genesis. Let me get Genesis 42. What did you say? Poverty. That's right. Let's get one more. For 3. What's another thing? And you can hold it. What's one more? Yeah, 43, 32. You said discrimination. What's one more? Because I know we can name many. Let me just get one more. Right? You said discrimination. You said poverty. Racism, right? Having our children taken from us, right? Slavery, right? Having our nationality stripped from us, right? The Lord said that'll happen to the Israelites, right? Y'all heard about Moses?
Yeah.
What y'all? Oh, you said yeah. You said no. Oh, okay. What do you know about Moses?
Moses.
Put on some game. What do you know about Moses?
Moses parted the Red Sea so that the
That's right. Right? He delivered, right? Through the mighty hand of the Most High God, mighty and stretched out hand, he brought the Israelites out of captivity, right? Now we're going to show you who those Israelites are, because, I mean, would you be able to point them out today? Would you be able to say that these people are the Israelites? All right. Well, let's find out. So we know Moses with the Israelites. Now you know Moses wrote the first 5 books, right? Right? You got Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. So when you read Deuteronomy chapter 28, it gives you a list of curses that the Israelites will go through. And this is how you would know who the Israelites are. Right? So let's get Deuteronomy 28 and 15, and then let me get verse 46.
This is Deuteronomy 28, verse 16. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Right? And hearken means to listen. He said, if you do not listen to the Most High God. Now, who was Moses with? The Israelites. Remember, he's talking to the Israelites, right?
To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right, and a curse is a bad thing, right? A curse is a bad thing. He told the nation of people, if Israelites, if you do not keep my commandments, I will bring all these curses upon you. Right? Let me get verse 46.
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
Right, so he said, and they, which meaning these curses will be upon your people for a sign and for a wonder. Because how do you know you at Walmart? Well, how you know it's not Target? That's right, that's right. So that's how you'll be able to identify these people. Right, let's get verse 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Right, you said, right, the Lord said, cursed will your people be in the city, and cursed will you be in the field. Now, would you say, now who's cursed in the city? Living in all the slums and the ghettos in the lowest conditions. What nation of people would you say that is? Well, we'll say that, but who are they called today? Who are they called today? Like when you say, like, if you were talking to somebody else, who's in the slums and the ghettos? Black people and who? So-called blacks and Hispanics.
There you go.
Now is the Chinese man in the slums and the ghettos? Right? So they can't relate to that, right? Remember, the Lord is talking to the Israelites, but he also said, cursed shalt thou be in the field. Who's known for doing hard labor in the field? In the cotton field, in the corn field, even today, in the fruit field, right? You got so-called Hispanics in the field today, right? You got so-called Hispanics in the field today. So we just want to get a couple to see who can relate to this, because we can't just take one and say, oh, that's these people. We got to get the full context, right? Let me get verse 54. Whoever got it.
This is verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate.
Right, so the Lord's telling the Israelites that y'all don't keep my commandments, this is what's going to happen to your nation. The nation, your people that's showing you a lot of love, this is what's going to happen.
And very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother.
Right, so what people today in 2023 have an evil eye towards each other? Well, the Lord said the Israelites, meaning one nation of people, are going to hate each other. They're the same people, but they hate each other. Right? Hold on, read that again.
This is verse 54, Deuteronomy 28:54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother.
Black on black crime.
His eye shall be evil toward his brother.
Northeast and Serene.
His eye shall be evil toward his brother.
Who is that? Right? You got black on black crime going in our communities, right? Y'all hear songs about it all the time, about rappers talking about exterminating their own race, right? You got the so-called Hispanics dressing up in red and blue. They're the same people, but they hate each other. What other nation can y'all name? And I'll wait. What other nation can y'all name that's doing that to each other? You said North Korea? Well, you got North Korea and South Korea, right? Right, but would you say that they were in the what's it called? Are they in the slums and ghettos too? I'm talking about anywhere you go around the world, like anywhere you go around the world. There is none. All right. Because I know you might say North Korea, but we're gonna finish it off. And then let's see if you still agree that they can maybe relate to this too.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
And towards the what?
And toward the wife of his bosom.
Right? Single mother house homes. Single mother house homes. Single mother house homes. Sometimes it's fathers too. Domestic violence. Right? Whose communities does this happen in? Only ours, right? Because I know you said North Korea, but what was that? Koreans, right? But even Koreans out here, you go to their neighborhoods, they're not killing each other. They not getting written up for domestic violence against their wife, right?
and toward the wife of his bosom,
Right.
and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
Right? It says which he shall leave. Right? Now, sis, was your father in the household growing up? All praises to the Most High.
All
A
praises,
lot of people can't say that.
Right.
Was y'all fathers in the household? See that? And y'all the same people, right? Hey, two out of three. You know, and hey, my father could walk past right now, and I wouldn't even know it was him. The Lord said this will happen to the Israelites, right? Now, during slavery, do y'all know what form of transportation people took to get to, like, for them to take people? Because where would y'all say we come from? Because now we know some of our people were already here. You said boat, right? Is y'all familiar with that? Boats, slave ships.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see what the Lord said. Now remember, where did Moses take the Israelites from? It was Egypt, right? Now Egypt just means captivity or it means bondage, right? Let me verse 68.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Right. So the Lord told the Israelites, y'all keep my commandments, y'all will go back into captivity again.
With ships.
What?
With ships. By the
Lord said with ships. Now we know that happened to our people. Now I don't know if y'all know, but the so-called Hispanics actually went on slave ships before the so-called African Americans. Did y'all know that? Right, in the 1400s. Right, in the 1400s, and then later on around the 1600s is when so-called African Americans went on slave ships. Right, that's a lot of history they don't teach us. Right, so if the Lord said this will happen to the Israelites, but it happened to our people, then who must we be? What was that? The Israelites, right? Now, would y'all agree with that, or would y'all say y'all Hispanic? Right, so even blacks and Hispanics, we the same people, and our people are coming together. What they say, black and brown love, because we the same people. We the same exact people. We come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob had 12 sons, which are the 12 tribes of Israel.
Right.
Right? We are God's chosen people. Now, did y'all remember how the Israelites got these curses put upon them? What did they do? That God put curses upon them. What did they do that they would get curses put upon them? What did the Lord say? What did the Lord say? If they don't do what? If they don't keep His commandments. The Lord said the Israelites don't keep His commandments, all these curses will come upon them. Now, what must our people do that we may rule the world again? Because remember, the Israelites ruled the world, and before they went off, the Lord gave them everything. But he told them, y'all don't keep the commandment. What did you say? That's right. Keep the commandments.
That's right.
Right now, this is something the church is not telling us. Y'all grew up in church? Y'all grew up in church? Did they tell y'all that y'all was Israelites? Did they tell y'all that y'all got to keep God's commandments?
It's crazy.
They didn't tell us these things.
That's why he said follow.
That's exactly. That's why the Lord says follow and read. Because those people in the church, they don't read. We're gonna be straight up. They're not reading. They read a couple of the same scriptures they've been reading a couple of the same scriptures for the past 20 years. They're not bringing up Deuteronomy.
Right.
They're not talking about the Israelites. The whole Bible talking about the Israelites. Why they not talking about the Israelites? Right. That's because they don't want y'all to know who they are. But we're waking up in these last days and we're coming back to the Most High God. Right? That's why you see all these things happening. Right? You see all these countries beefing with each other. The Lord is stirring things up because He's about to come save His people.
That's right.
He's about to come deliver them out of captivity. Because the only way for us to be delivered is to keep His commandments. That's right. Because as long as we keep doing what we're doing, we're going to be right here. Guess what? Our children, they're going to be getting discriminated against. They're going to be getting shot down in the streets. And guess what? Their children going to have the same thing happen to them. Until we get it. The Lord looking like, when y'all going to get it? When y'all going to understand what generational curses? That's why it says curse upon thy seed and forever. Right? Now, can we give y'all some commandments before y'all go?
Yes.
And then we got a pamphlet for y'all. Now, what would y'all say today is?
Today?
Yeah, what y'all say?
Saturday. Oh, yeah.
Today's a Sabbath day, right? The seventh day, right? Sets you on fire.
Yeah.
Right? The seventh day, right? Now the 7th day is a Sabbath day. Did y'all know that? Or did y'all think it was Sunday?
I thought it was Sunday.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna show you. Give me Exodus 20 and 8. We're gonna show you because the Lord said the 7th day. Now Sunday is the first day. I don't know if y'all knew that. While we pulling this out, look up y'all calendars while we pulling it out. Look at where it go to. Oh, come on.
This Exodus.
It go from S to S, right?
Yeah.
You see that? So they lied to us, right?
This Exodus chapter 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day
Right. The Lord said, "Remember," because He knew that they would change it, right?
to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
Right.
In it thou shalt not do any work.
Right. The Lord said on the Sabbath day, you don't want to do any work, right? You don't want to do any work. You don't want to buy and sell, and you don't want to do these things on the Sabbath day because it's a set apart day. The Lord said, you got 6 days to do all your work, to do what you want to do in righteousness. But the 7th day is for Him, right? The 7th day is for the Lord, right? Because the Lord created the world in 6 days, right? And all things therein, and rest the 7th day. Now we understand we in captivity, but we might want to change our schedules, or if you have to, get a new job. Get a new job that you don't have to work on the Sabbath, right? So that's one commandment. We're gonna get a couple more for y'all. Now y'all eat pork? Okay. We're gonna bring this out.
It's Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 7.
Bring it out.
Now swine is Old English for pig, right? We want to see what the Lord said about it. Because remember, who is the Lord talking to? Talking to the Israelites, right? He's not talking to the whole world, right?
This is Leviticus 11 and 7. And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you.
Right?
Of their flesh shall ye not eat.
What the Lord said?
Of their flesh shall ye not eat.
No, but I prayed over it.
Of their flesh shall ye not eat. And their carcass shall ye not touch.
Right? The Lord said not to eat pork. Pork is an abomination to the Most High God. Right? Because a pig is a disposable trash can.
Teach y'all.
A pig will eat all three of y'all and
No.
leave nothing. Right? So if pigs eating dead bodies, why would you eat a pig? Right? Pigs give our people cancer,
Yep.
right? High blood pressure. There's nothing good about a pig. Right? Pig carries worms.
Right.
They carry worms and diseases.
Teach y'all.
Right? A pig brings death. If you eat a pig, it brings death, literally. Right? Now the doctor's got to amputate your feet because you're eating too much pig. Right? So no more pork. Right? Let me get 1 Timothy. We'll get y'all one more. Let me get 1 Timothy 2 and 9. Oh yeah. Let's finish that off real quick.
This Leviticus 11 and 9 continue on. These shall ye eat all that are in the waters, whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers. Them ye shall eat.
Right. So y'all like shrimp, crab, and lobster? Y'all eat those things?
Yeah.
All right. Well, the Lord said all you can eat in the waters are those that have fins and scales. Yeah, that would be fish, and that means only fish. Right? Only fish, because nothing else in the water has fins and scales. Now you got sharks, whales, all these things. They got fins, but they don't have scales. If they don't have fins and scales, you can't eat them. They're unclean unto us. Right? They're an abomination. That's why some people, when you're not watching your diet, it jams up your body. That's why some people have like odors that come from them. They start to stink. They start to stink because of what you're eating. That's real. So no shrimp, no more shrimp and crab and lobster, right? Why?
Because they've got scales or
There you go.
That's right. That's
Ah,
right.
there you
And
go.
because the Most High God says so, and because we Israelites,
That's right.
right? We God's chosen people.
That's right.
We're above all nations on the face of the earth. Get Deuteronomy 7 and 6 real quick. Right? We're gonna bring this out, and then we'll give y'all one more commandment. We're gonna let y'all go. Right? And the pamphlet got a YouTube, it got an Instagram, right? It got a number, right? Hit the number, right? Y'all see a lot of brothers up here, but we also have sisters too, right? And give me numbers 15 and 38. Bring this out.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 7 and 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Remember, the Most High is talking to the Israelites, right? This is something y'all ain't never heard before. This is why we get discriminated against. This is why these curses and all these things happen to us.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
No, we all equal.
All people that are upon the face of the earth.
The Lord said, y'all above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Right.
That's real. That's real. Right? Let me get up 1 Timothy 2 and 9.
It's 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 9. In like manner also that women adore themselves in modest apparel.
In what?
In modest apparel.
Right?
With shamefacedness and sobriety, not with braided hair or gold or pearls or costly array, but which becometh women professing godliness.
Professing what?
Professing godliness.
Right? Professing godliness.
With good works.
Right? With good works. Meaning the Lord is saying for the Israelite woman, even in the ancient world, and you can even see Native Americans, even in the ancient world, our women always wore dresses. Right? Pants is the new thing for women to wear. Women wasn't wearing pants in 1930s, in the 1940s. I don't even think the 1940s. Right? Women just started wearing pants. Right? But the Lord is saying that women should adorn themselves in modest apparel. There's nothing wrong with having, piercings and gold, but you want to dress modest because you don't want to show your shape to every man in the world. That's supposed to be for your husband. That's all for your husband, So women all adorn themselves in modest apparel. And so right? In godliness. And godliness professing good works, because that's a beautiful thing in the eyes of the Most High.
That's right.
Right? That's a beautiful thing. Now, one more commandment, right? What do y'all see us all wearing on our shirts? What do y'all see us all wearing on our shirts? Right? We're gonna find out what that is, right? We're gonna find out what it is, right? Numbers 15 and 38.
This is Numbers chapter 15 and 38.
Bring it up.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel,
Right.
and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generation.
No, that's Old Testament.
Throughout their generation.
Right? Meaning still today. Right? Meaning still today.
And that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
Right? Everybody got a ribbon of blue on, right? Why? Because we're royalty. Blue is a royal color. Right? Blue, gold, white. Those are purple. Those are royal colors, but the Lord said a ribbon of blue, right?
And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord,
Right.
and do them.
And do what?
And do them.
Right, so we may remember all the commandments. That's why we wear our fringes, that we may remember all the commandments of the Most High God, that we may meditate on the commandments. We may meditate on the Most High, right, and all His works. Right, so that's why we wear fringes, right? So y'all got any questions? Questions? Y'all can take a pamphlet. All praise to the Most High. So now y'all know it's more commandments, but we not gonna give them all to y'all, right? Y'all gotta seek these things out because you living in the last days. You're living in the last days, and this is real. This is our nationality, right? You even see Native Americans; they wore fringes. You see this sister's dress right here, she got fringes on the bottom of her dress. Right? Because before our people went into captivity, they knew who they was. Right? They knew who they was. Our women wasn't calling themselves black and Hispanics. Right? Y'all check that YouTube out. Remember, y'all see a lot of brothers up here. It's a brotherhood, but we also have a sisterhood. Right? We got sisters in this thing too, and we want y'all to gather together. Right? Because the Lord said gather together. So I'm gonna bring this last scripture out and then y'all send you on your way. Right, Genesis 49:1. This is what Jacob told his children.
This is Genesis chapter 49 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
And Jacob called unto his sons and said, Gather yourselves together.
What the Lord say?
Gather yourselves together.
No, do your own thing.
Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
Right, because you're living in the last days, and now you're hearing what's going on. Right? You're hearing what's going on. Now you're living in the last days. So the Lord said for us to gather together. Why? Because you said it. We're being discriminated against. Nobody, none of these nations gonna tell y'all that y'all above them, that y'all God's chosen people, that y'all the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, and this is why y'all in the condition y'all in. They're not gonna tell y'all gotta keep the commandments to come back to your God. They're not gonna tell you that. Why? Because they profit off of us. You got the Chinese in the hood selling our people pork. You got when you go to 7-Elevens in the hoods, selling our people backwoods and swishers, right? Yeah, Arabs selling our people backwoods and swishers, selling them alcohol so they could drink Hennessy and fight each other, right? Everybody profits off of our downfall, right? So y'all gotta repent, come back to the Most High God, and y'all know Christ is a so-called black man, right? Can we get that for y'all right before y'all leave? Okay, all praise to the Most High. We're gonna get y'all the depiction of Christ, because if we God's chosen people, don't you think Christ would look like this? Christ only came for the Israelites. He only came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Christ is not coming for the whole world. Right? Let's bring this out for the sisters.
This is Revelation chapter 1. I'm sorry, 1.
Yeah, 1 and 1.
This is Revelation chapter 1 and verse 1. And it reads, the revelation of Jesus Christ.
What the Lord say?
The revelation of Jesus Christ.
Right? The revelation means to reveal. Right? So the Most High sent the vision to John the Revelator to reveal unto the Israelites, right? And finish it off.
Which God gave unto him to shew himself servants, things which must shortly come to pass.
Right.
And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John.
Right. Right. He signified it unto the angel. Now it's about to get the depiction of Christ. Right.
This is verse 12. And I turned to see the voice that spake with me. Being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks.
Right.
And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man.
Right. So y'all ever saw the candlesticks? The 7 candlesticks? Look like the menorah? This is what he saw. But in the midst of it, he's seen the image of a man, right? Which is Christ, right?
12 with a garment down to the foot.
Right. So Christ had on the garment down to the foot. And Christ, I know, you read the scriptures, Christ wore fringes too. Christ kept the commandments. He was a man with no sin. Christ wore fringes, right?
And a girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
Right.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Right. White like wool. Who has woolly hair? Who has hair like a sheep? Our people, right? Got hair like a sheep, right? It didn't say he had long stringy hair. It said hair like wool, right?
And as white as snow,
right.
And his eyes was as a flame of fire.
No, it was blue like the ocean.
And his eyes were like a flame of fire,
right.
And his feet like unto fine brass,
right. His feet like unto fine brass. What color is brass? Brown, right? Kind of like a penny. But let's see how brown was his feet, because your feet gonna be the same color as your body, right?
As if they burned in a furnace.
As if what?
As if they burned in a furnace.
The Lord said, as if they burned in a furnace. So Christ was a dark-skinned man. Christ was a dark-skinned man. But you go to the church, and they got a white man up there, right? White Jesus, right? His name was not Jesus, because the letter J is only a little over 500 years old, right? So we got to come out of the ways of America. We got to come out of these lies and come back to the Most High God.
That's right.
Because believe it or not, the Lord is recording this day against us. Right? The Lord is recording this day against us. Y'all either gonna choose life or death. Y'all can choose life, come back to the Most High God, learn your God-given nationality, and keep the commandments, or y'all can choose death and go and leave from here now and continue on what y'all was doing. And never receive salvation. That's right. That door of repentance is closing. Right? But more grace, but more peace and grace be unto you, humble sisters. Right? More peace and grace. Right? More peace and grace be unto you, humble sisters. The brother got an image right here. Bro. Oh yeah, come on. All praise to the Most High. So I'm about to close up. Let me get. Let me get Genesis 49:1 one more time. Because this is heavy. This is what we got to do.
This is Genesis. This is Genesis chapter 49 and verse 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together.
What the Lord say?
Gather yourselves together.
Read that again.
Gather yourselves together.
Right.
That I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
Right. And with that, Kwam Yasharallah.
Kwam Yasharallah.
Kwam Yasharallah.
Kwam Yasharallah.
Kwam Yasharallah.
Kwam Yasharallah.